Good morning, everybody. Dave with Renko Kings here. Renko Kings provides you with simple, clear entries. It's July 30th, a little bit after the opening. It's about 9:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're looking at the Micro YM this morning. You can see that we have broken below this pivot point here, and what I like about this setup right here that I'm looking at is that we got below the pivot point, we came up, we got a valid signal, we broke through the pivot point again, and we broke through that previous low. Okay, so this was a nice definitive move here. Okay, this was a nice definitive move here. We broke that previous low. Okay, and the pivot is considered a significant area. Okay, so what we're doing is we're waiting to see what this retracement looks like, and we want a nice clean retracement, just like the definitive move was nice and clean. There was no hesitation. We don't want any hesitation involved, okay, like this here. Okay, we had a little bit of hesitation. Now if there's just one bar down and one bar right back up, I'll usually let that slide. Okay, but I don't like to see any hesitation in there. Okay, this
MYM trade alert.
This is a nice clean retracement. Okay, 32.
Order submitted. Order
MYM,
filled.
sell signal 3.
Okay, so go ahead and mark our trade. And we're going to see if we get some follow through on this.
Target filled.
Nice, nice. Okay, so we got our first target. Second target's at 52 ticks.
MYM, sell signal 3.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to trail our stop down just above this wick. So right now all risk is off this trade. Okay, so we've got 4 ticks locked in on our second and third contract. Okay.
Target filled.
Nice, nice. Okay, great. And I'm just going to trail the bar close indicator here on the third contract. And third contract at 100 ticks.
Target filled.
Nice. Nice. So 178 ticks. Times 50 cents a tick on the Micro YM. is $89. Nice. Nice trade, and that's still running. And you can see that it's potentially it could get down to support 3 on the pivot here. Normally don't hit 3 pivots in a day, but occasionally it does happen, especially on high volatility days. But just the fact that it's ran this far already this early could very well get down here. So let's discuss this a little bit. Okay?
MYM trade alert.
Let me just turn my connection off so it's not talking over me. Okay. So what was the setup? Okay. Why did Dave decide to just jump in and take this arrow? Okay. Well, you know, I had the NASDAQ up, I had the YM, I had the Russell, the RTY, I had the ES up, okay, and I chose to trade the YM because the YM had the cleanest looking chart and a potential setup, okay. The YM had this nice clean looking line that's moving at a pseudo 45-degree angle downward, okay, and I saw that price action got below this transition over here, got below the trend line, okay, and stayed below it, okay. And yes, we bounced off of the pivot here and we got below it here, okay, but then we got back above the pivot, and that's a little concerning, right? But at this point here there was a clean signal. We broke through the pivot and we broke through this support and this last low. When this action right here, this was the deciding factor right here, okay, this event right here, okay, breaking this last low, okay, was the deciding factor that caught my eye to make me start looking at this setup, okay. So you heard me say everything that I was building a case here, okay. I didn't just open up my charts and say, oh, there's a red signal, I'm going to jump in, okay. The red signal was the last thing that made me decide that I was going to take the trade, okay. I like the fact, what did I say, that we had a descending trend line. Okay, it's not quite at a 45-degree angle, but when it's descending or ascending, I know that there's a trend in place. Okay, if it's going straight across your screen like one of these pivot points, you're not trending. You're stuck in consolidation. Okay, so you always want to be looking for a trend line at an angle. That's the whole purpose of me putting the trend line on the screen for you. All right, that's a reference point. So we got below the trend line and we stayed below the trend line. That's very important. Okay, we came down, we touched it, we came down, we touched it, we came down, we stayed below it, came up, stayed below it. Okay, that's very important. When we're trending, we're going to stay below it or stay above it, depending on what direction we're going. Okay, what did I say? We got below the pivot, but then we came back up. And that's concerning, right? But then we got a signal and we came down and we broke below this low. And look at this move. It was a very decisive move. There was no hesitation. Okay, it broke right through it. And I like that. You hear me say that all the time. I want a clean, decisive move, very definitive. Okay, the market was very decisive. It went right through this. Okay, when you see the market make decisive move like that, that's what we're looking for. Then we had a retracement, and it was a clean retracement. There was no hesitation. It wasn't ugly. Okay, it was nice and clean. That's what I look for. And what did we get? We got a signal. Okay, we got a nice clean signal. If there was no signal here, I wouldn't have taken this setup. Okay, and where did it retrace back to? Well, pretty close to the pivot point, which is where I would expect it to have retraced to. Would have been nice if it came right up and kissed it, actually. Okay, because that's where we broke through, and then we broke through it again. So I would expect it to come back up and retest, and it did. Okay, it's never going to be picture perfect, but it came up and retested that point, and then we broke lower. Okay, so I got my first target, my second target, and my third target. Was a full boat trade, 178 ticks. So I hope this demonstration, this trade, I hope I explained it clear enough for you. If I didn't, please send me an email. If we have to, we can do a Skype screen share session, and I can go into more detail with you or go over it again with you. And if you have any questions, just keep sending in your charts. Mark up your charts for me, though. Make sure you're always marking up your charts so I understand your thought process. Even if your thought process is wrong, that doesn't matter. At least I know what you're thinking when you're making your trade. Okay, just don't send me a blank chart showing me where you made your trade. I want to know what you were thinking when you made your trade. Okay, that way I can help you change what you're looking at on the chart and change your thought process so you start looking at the key things on the chart. It just takes practice. Okay, after a little while of this, you'll start looking at the key things on the chart, and you'll start realizing, oh, okay, I should have been looking at this support, or I should have been looking at this resistance. Okay, there's only a few key things on the chart that you need to pay attention to, and there's only 3 setups that we teach you. Okay, so I hope this helps. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.